use this waste to produce the products we use at the farm. So when you take this weed, that thing that makes, I want to speak on a layman's term so that we could all flow. That thing that makes the weed strong enough, that's those things the weed has as properties that gives them that adaptability to be able to stand it with the harsh weather. You will take it from the weed and you process it to go over to your crops. With that, you will protect your crops and you will transfer that same energy and that same strength to your crops. So part of what we do to control the climate issues we have is this. The farmers we work with, we demonstrate remarkable resilience and adaptability in the face of these uncertainties that are brought to us. Number one, we employ shifting cultivation. As a farmer, you should know that when you use a particular piece of land over and over and over again, there's every probability that the soil will lose some of its strength to withhold the diseases that affect such crops. So you are supposed to do what we call shifting cultivation. You plant pepper on this particular space today. By the time you do your next planting, you rotate it with something like a beans or something like a root crops. When you plant, you employ what we call intercropping. I will give you an example. If you are planting something like cassava and your cassava tubers are not growing so big, the easiest of what we advise is you intercrop with a cereal, something like maize. When you plant your cassava with your maize, you are releasing nitrogen to the sun, to the soil. And this nitrogen will help the tubers of your cassava to grow bigger. Without making use of excess products of fertilizer and some of them that are not synthetic and not healthy for human, you can make use of intercropping in boosting your products, even in the face of this climate change. You can also make use of organic waste. You can move more to using organic way of farming to the normal synthetic fertilizer that we have. Another thing we employ farmers to do, I wouldn't want to go talking about climate change over and over again. We've already heard that from my other colleague, Dr. Debisi. So another thing we advise farmers to do is to maximize your existing agricultural land. So even if you have access to 100 acres of farmland, instead of farming that 100 acres of farmland with minimal resource that you could have, you plan yourself to treat 5 or 10 acres and get the best out of it. I will give you an example. A client called us, he needed to do a setup as at 2 years ago. When I sit down with this client and did a discussion with him, I asked him, that was 4 years ago, why do you want to plant cassava? He said, my friend did cassava the other time. He told me the money is much. They were asking me to come and invest in their product and get so and so amount. I said, agriculture is not get rich quick kind of business. It's a business you must have passion for, and you do a planning for what you're doing. I wouldn't advise you to do cassava as at now. He listened, but his friend didn't, and they regretted it. But as at last year, when he came back, he said, I want to do now. What do I do? I said, do cassava. He asked why. We do a forecast. You check what sells in your environment. What do you have the market for? Okay, Gary is sold today at so and so kg for 3,000. By the time I'm harvesting my cassava, will it be so? The price of Gary, we know in Nigeria, went up, not because the dollar went up or because anything happened, but because of the climate change. Most people didn't plant cassava as at last year. And as at this moment, when you harvest the cassava, because of the climate change we are facing, it's too dry. So the starch content of this cassava is too low. So there are not much products on ground. That is what is influencing the high cost of this product. So when you do a normal forecast on a product you want to go into, that will tell you whether you should invest in it or not. You don't just wake up and invest so that you don't lose your money. Finally, I will employ most of the farmers, make use of knowledge sharing and adaptation networks. You are not facing this climate change in isolation. Many other farmers and agribusiness owners, they are facing the same thing. So if you could join your local global network, you share your experiences and best practices and adaptation to changing conditions. This will help you in making your success growth more easier. Finally, if you could reduce the usage of synthetic products in our farm and employ the use of organic methods. For example, if you need nitrogen in your soil, you need to know that things like manure, blood meal, feather dust, even leather dust, and normal soybean is a source of nitrogen for your plants. If you need your phosphorus, you should know that moringa, bitter kola, bitter leaf, scent leaf, even zobo leaf, they are all sources of phosphorus. Potassium, simple wood ash from those that fry things around your area could supply that. With that, you've had your complete NPK, which you need. And these are natural things that your soil needs, and it improves the soil health and reduces water waste. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amaka. Thank you. I'm sure most of us got value from all of the things that you all shared. Thank you so much. And dear participants, let's appreciate Amaka in the comment section and say thank you to her and even give her a round of applause. This is really beautiful. Thank you so much. So we'll quickly go to the questions and answer segment so that we don't keep us waiting for too long. So I have a question here on the chat box. I'll quickly read this question out. I think this question has to do with, it said, does crop rotation comprise shifting cultivation? And then shifting cultivation was previously used in forests, which are no longer available. So what is shifting cultivation? So that's actually what the person is asking. I'm sure maybe this question is for Dr. Davison. Dr. Davison, would you want to quickly take a stab at this question? And then I'll quickly check through the comment section for other questions.
Sweet, thank you very much. So when you are rotating crops, you are looking at whether you could plant your shallow-rooted crops, deep-rooted crops to ensure, and also based on the nutrient requirements of crops. So ensuring that you're maximizing the value of the land, but not depleting all the nutrients available. As the previous speaker has mentioned, she talked briefly about the nitrogen addition to soil. I mean, soils, I would say, so it's kind of like the human body, right? We get most of our nutrients from the food that we eat, but sometimes, you go for medical checks, and a doctor or a pharmacist can prescribe multivitamin tablets and tell you, you have some nutrients that are low. The same thing with soil. So you have macronutrients and micronutrients. And it's important, I suppose maybe it goes without saying, to have your soil tested. If you indeed want to practice commercial agriculture, have your soil tested, ensure that you know where the deficiencies are, and let that inform the type of agriculture you practice on your farm. Different practices are optimal given the context. If the context isn't optimal, then you can't take the same practice everywhere and get the same results. So get your soil tested, have the nutrient profile of your soil, and then complement any areas of deficiency. So whether you are, in the chat, I also saw, and I think this question was answered, the difference between crop rotation and intercropping, whether you're cropping or planting two different crops together, or you are rotating on the same farm. So that's the difference seasonally, whether you take one crop in for the main rainy season and then another crop for the dry season. I'm trying to think what else to say about this. So we've talked about the nutrient deficiencies. We've talked about nutrients. I think that was it, unless we also want to bring in shifting cultivation. So there are agricultural practices that were available to us when land was at a premium. When land is at a premium and you're not moving from one farm to the other, and you're allowing allowing a piece of land to fallow, then you cannot shift. You're going to be on that same plot of land. So you have to ensure that you are taking care of your soil, because your soil, again, is organic. It's a living thing. You have your microflora and microfauna. And as you practice your agriculture, understand as entrepreneurs, you really have to bring the very best of science into what you're doing to optimize your yield. So get your soil tested, understand the nutrient profile, but also understand the soil organic profile of your farm, to ensure that you are not depleting to the point where you impact yield from your crop production. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Debisi. We have another question here. He said, how do you combine cereal and cassava? What value will that add to the soil? And I think this question is also related to which organic method can be used to control and prevent aphids from vegetables. You're muted.
Of course, that inevitably happens, right? I surely want to bring my co-panelist on for the other, but there are different methods for biological control of pests. The International Center for Insects and Entomology here in Kenya has designed a push-pull method where they attract you depending on how you plant. You have to look this up. It's called push-pull method of biological control of pests. If you want to avoid using chemicals, and of course, it is a challenge. The use of chemicals on farms, especially if you are if you're into off-taker agreements. There are standards that your off-takers will sign with you. You have to have specific standards of, how much, if any, chemicals that you will be adding or spraying on your crops. Organic farming is viable, but it has its challenges. Nothing is, I wouldn't say one method using organic or inorganic fertilizer or practices, one is good, one is bad, not necessarily. But it is better to err on the side of caution that are highly toxic. Some are highly toxic. Glyphosate, for example, as a weed suppressor, has been shown to cause cancer in humans. So why would you even want to spray that on your crops, or you want to use that? And why would you as a consumer want to use or consume any food that glyphosate, for example, has been sprayed on? Let me hand over to my colleague.
Thank you so much, Dr. Debisi. Thank you. Okay, I'm reading some of the comments here. Someone said, can I repeat the things I just listed for you? I can't even remember what I said. But okay, I can say some of them in my head. I know nitrogen source that are natural includes your manure, the manure from your animal husbandry, your blood meal, your feather dust, leather, original leather, the dust, if you allow it to decay, its animal skin is part of your nitrogen. Soya bean meal is part of it. Then examples of your phosphorus includes moringa. Of course, every farmer is advised to have your moringa. Have your moringa in your farm. It will save you a whole lot, both for your rabbitry, your goats, your chicken. You have your bitter cola, you have your bitter leaf, you have your scent leaf, you have zobo leaf. They are all phosphorus. Potassium is your wood ash. We had a challenge of someone that was calling for help. What's wrong? The backyard farming she had, we are having some curly leaf and a brown scorching. By the time I arrived and checked the situation, it was just lack of potassium. I told her, madam, you have some people that fry along your area. Can you just collect some wood ash, pour it in the farm and water them? they'll be fine. Make sure you do your watering late in the evening. Don't do, because of the harsh weather we have these days, do it mostly late in the evening. And within 3 days, she was fine. But we advise, if you're practicing organic farming, it's better to do prevention than cure. Prevention works better as an organic farmer. Don't wait till the issue is on ground before you start, because the issue at hand with this climate change we have is really appalling. It's really appalling. So you as a young farmer can also adapt the use of some apps. There are some apps you see now online. They're all in your Play Store. It will help you to detect the issue on ground so that you will know what to apply. That's why I was talking about you joining some knowledge sharing and adaptation group networks. It will help you with information. When you scan these things, most of the apps, especially the paid ones, they will tell you what the issue is. So you will know where to look for your help. We had someone that called on my office. They had a challenge. By the time we got there, they were having heat stress in the poultry. The birds were dying, and she's an organic farmer. She didn't want to apply any synthetic drug. It was so easy. We got some ice cube, dropped it inside in the water. The chicken we are drinking, and within some few minutes, some of them were resuscitated. It's all about knowledge, it's information. So get yourself acquainted with some groups where you can get this information, and you'll be grateful you did. I don't know if I'm missing any other information. Please let me know.
Before you go, Amaka, there's one very important question I want you to quickly answer. The person is asking that what is the best organic chemical to use? So would you want to talk about that? Is there an organic chemical?
There is nothing like organic chemical. We don't do organic chemical. Like I said, you need to know the situation at hand to know the solution to apply. I can't say this is the best or this is not the best, but for every problem in agriculture, there is a solution. So we will have to dictate what the problem is first before you will know the solution to apply.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So some people are raising their hands, so just quickly unmute them and let them quickly ask their question. So the first here is Kanyiso. So I'm asking you to unmute, please unmute and ask your question. Direct your question to the facilitator you want to answer the question, and let's hear you. So I'm asking you to unmute. Are you there? I've enabled you to unmute, so. Okay, so if you're not answering, let's quickly move to Gavin Kalaluka. Please, I'm asking you to unmute and ask your question, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
Thank you very much. My question is in regards to in regards to climate change. I'm on the processing, packaging, manufacturing, and distribution end of agribusiness. So as the earlier speaker was presenting, he mentioned about climate change and you know how it's really affecting us. How do we then, as on the far end of a supply chain that deals with packaging and everything, because you know everything has to be environmental friendly? Are you using plastics that are damaging our environment? Are you manufacturing in a way that actually pollutes, you know, the air and all those kinds of stuff? So how do we, as agribusinesses, those that are on the other end of the supply chain, how can we be able to be climate sensitive in terms of our business? Because I'll mention like one major challenge in terms of like I'll mention of like biodegradable plastics. Maybe you're using that kind of packaging. On the expense side, of course, you find that the cost is very high. We don't manufacture, most of African countries do not manufacture climate friendly packagation. So you have to get it from China, you have to get it from overseas. And so how can we navigate on that side? And then the other quick question that I do have is how we're experiencing climate change, but we as Africa are not the ones that are actually polluting the atmosphere, we are mostly affected. Because I kind of like looked, I was looking at the statistics about 2.58%, if I'm right, of the whole entire African continent. We only contribute up to 2.5%. So we do not manufacture in Africa. We are just affected by climate change. Most countries that are affecting that are really contributing to climate change are China, India, and most of the countries, the USA and others. So we do not. So if we are planning as Africa to actually industrialize, how can we do industrialize without upping our carbon footprint or upping our pollution into the atmosphere? Yeah, I think those two questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Dr. Davison, are you there? Would you want to take a stab at this?
Yeah, sure. And
right,
I'll try to be quick so we can get in other questions. Let's start with the second one. Africa is becoming, a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, just because it's the nature of we're a large population, young population. So as the youth get older and economic activities increases across the continent, our greenhouse gas emissions will continue to rise. A lot of politicians will talk about, and maybe civil society advocates will talk about Africa not being a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, yet being impacted significantly by climate change. Well, everybody is impacted by climate change, so let's start there. But on green transition and just transition, I think there are trade-offs. The question is nuanced, because if you were to adopt current technologies to say, okay, Africa wants to catch up with the rest of the world on, say, power or road construction, or you name it, these will be routes that will require increasing the production of greenhouse gas emissions. Now, the debate within the UNFCCC, and you might have, some of you might follow this at the COP, is that they're trying to limit global production of additional greenhouse gas emissions, limiting the increase in temperature from baseline levels to no more than 1.5 degrees. If Africa is to catch up, based on current technologies, it's going to be extremely expensive. So take power, for example. The debate is, do we go exclusively solar, wind, and hydro, or should Africa take advantage of its vast natural gas reserves to power its industrialization? Some greenhouse gas emission needs to be released in our pathway towards economic prosperity. The question is how much, and who's going to pay for it? That's not a technical problem, it's a political one. And honestly, we'll leave it to the politicians when they gather in, Azerbaijan, in Baku, towards the end of the year. I've taken the second one. Do you want to take the first question?
So, Amaka, are you there? Would you want to take the first question?
Okay, I think the first question is, how do we get the packaging materials, right?
Yeah. Yes, so it was talking about how to we've actually been talking about production and all that. Now for processors and then packaging, how do we get the packaging material, especially in Africa, because most of these climate smart packaging is gotten from China and all that.
Yes, Africa is still lacking in production of most of these things, and is an opening for our youth too. We that are in this industry that already understands this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity. Most of my students that told me they're traveling now, they want to go to, I said, if you are wise, if I still have the opportunity, not having children dragging, I will travel to China to learn. I will bring it back to Africa and I will produce it. Personally, almost 98% of what we use in the farm is produced at our farm. We don't buy. The feed for our animals, we produce them. And you won't believe me, we produce them from most of the waste we have. We do the pelletizing with our pelletizing machine. We import the small machine for small scale farmers. We brought it in. It's not so expensive on the long run if you consider it. We bring it in, use those things in the farm to the production. So at the end, the cost of production are reduced. So even when others are selling a particular product at a price, we can decide to slash it and buy the market. When we enter market, others clear for us because of the way we do the production. We do produce tea, and our tea bags, we import the rolls from China. When it comes into Nigeria, we produce the tea bags ourselves here in Nigeria. So it is an opening for youths to consider. If you are in this forum today, is a place I implore you to do a research on. How can I start producing these organic packages? You will be the next billionaire from Africa from this. It's an opportunity I still see, because if I tell you there's already something to buy from Africa for this in this regard, I'm lying. But it's an opportunity for you and I to consider. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And participants, when anybody that wants to go into research or any of these things, if, as a matter of fact, you can let us know. African Food Chain Workers would support you. Yes, we'll work together with you. Thank you so much, Amaka. Thank you. So I'll quickly ask the next person to unmute so that we they ask their question. Oluwafemi Zio. Please quickly unmute and ask the question. Please just go straight to the question, because there are other people raising their hands, so that we'll get as many as possible. Oluwafemi, are you there?
Okay, thank you, ma. Yes, thank you, ma. I really appreciate the opportunity I have. My own is not question. I just want to make a clarification from one of the submission of my sister on why cassava price is going up. It's not directly because of the climate change, but it's a accumulation of other factors. Because naturally, cassava was one of the crop with high level of resistance. That is number one. Even this unfriendly weather condition is not supporting other crops, but it's supporting cassava. So the explanation given may not be so. There's one cyclical concept or phenomenon of cassava production in Africa, because we are not producing consistently. Therefore, people have stopped producing, and the level of utility of cassava is expanding every day. Because most of these factory now, companies, they are now using cassava as a product or as a raw material. Therefore, it's competing with consumption. That is what is shooting the price of cassava every day. And the level of the effect of climate on cassava. For example, now, this is April in Nigeria. We are yet to start planting maize. And people have already planted cassava. And the rate of consumption, the utility is expanding, and that's what is shooting cassava price up even at international market. So it's
Please on mute, please. Oluwafemi, cannot hear you. You're not muted. Oluwafemi, if you can hear me, you're now muted. We cannot hear you. Okay, but if he's no longer available, let's quickly get to the next person so we don't waste too much time. Thaddeus Banda, if you are there, please unmute. Oluwafemi, you can drop the remaining of your submission on the comments, please, so that we'll quickly move on. Thaddeus Banda, if you are there, go ahead.
Hi.
Hello, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. My question, I think it goes to Amaka. I was not so clear when she was explaining intercropping with regards to cereal, which is maize, can be maize or whatever. How is that helping to improve the soil, Amaka?
Okay, so very simple. is very, very simple. The maize cobs that you remove when you harvest your maize. Maize is a short-term crop, we know. The maize we plant here, between highest 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you harvest your maize. The cobs that is left releases nitrogen to the soil. You understand? That nitrogen will help the tubers in the ground. Do you understand the science behind it now?
Not really. I'm still skeptical. Is it because it's not a legume? It's not a legume.
You can do your research on that. Maize,
okay.
When you intercrop it with tubers, example, the cassava. When you harvest your maize, the cobs from the maize, which you don't use naturally, except those that do their animal feed, like we use the leaves in our production of feed for the animal, but the stems, the cobs, we leave it in the farm to add to the manure in the farm, and it's rich in nitrogen.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about. When you are planting, look for crops that work together. It will help you. If you are into vegetable, look for crops that work. There are some pests in a particular vegetable that eats up the pests that eat the next vegetable. If you intercrop such, you wouldn't need to employ the use of most products in controlling pests, because the pests will fight themselves.
Yeah, on that one, I think Dr. mentioned about push-pull, which I agree totally 100%. I know we use the Desmodium and Bracharia. So
okay.
We have done that, and I'm 100% sure on how it works.
You know, the beauty of this agriculture is that we learn and we relearn. So now that we're at this point, you can do a trial and let us know. At least you're part of BRACE, so you can give your report through BRACE.
Thank you so much. I think I just have to carry out a research on that.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Thaddeus. We'll quickly go to the next person, Samsung SM. If you're there, please quickly unmute and ask your questions. And please, if possible, some of us raising our hands, quickly go to the chat box and write your questions there. I may not be able to call everyone as our time is fast spent and we still have other information to pass across. So Samsung, unmute and ask your question. Samsung, are you there? If you can hear me, please unmute.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so my question goes to Amaka as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so most of mentors are saying that organic farming is for rich people who have already made it in farming. And they're saying, like, especially in Malawi, where most of these commercial farmers are not practicing CSA and the like, they're saying that's not for commercial farmers. So I wanted to ask Amaka, when did she started falling for organic farming, as in the CSA? Because for me, somebody offered me some traditional beehives which are made from tree barks, and I said, no, my heart is all for organic. I don't want to be part of the people who are doing these harmful techniques and the like. So I wanted to ask, like, directly from Amaka, as in, when did she start realizing profits from organic farming? And is it true that she's making a lot of profits for organic farming, or it's just something that she's doing partly? Or she started doing organic farming after having enough money that she already made it from an organic and the like? That's my question. I don't know if it's clear.
Okay. Like I said, organic farming is better off when you are doing prevention than cure. Okay? If you are doing an open field farming without protection for your pests and all, there's every possibility you might have an invasion of pests. But if you're practicing greenhouse farming, it's so easy to do organic farming, because naturally your products your farm is already protected from the outside world, except few that might enter, which could be controlled. So you prevent them from entering. If you're personally, we run 5,000 broilers and we don't have any loss, or rather we have maximum of 5%, because we produce, and almost everything we use in the farm is produced from the farm. So you can already understand that the cost production is reduced at its minimal rates. But if you're still buying everything you are using, all the organic products you use, you buy them, you may not be able to see much. So if you want to go organic, you'll be ready to work. If you really want to get your profit, you should be ready to work. I work 24 hours a day. There's no holiday for me. Even my children knows we work 24 hours a day. We can be called in the middle of the night for a farm that has an issue and we are there. So when you produce almost everything you use, you're not buying anything. So every single thing you produce is profits. We are into palm oil production, which is crude protein of about 70%. We produce BSF, which we use in the farm. This reduces our usage of protein in our animal production. So you could see that we don't really spend much on production because we are always there to make the products. So organic farming can be really, it pays, like I say, it pays. But it still took me years to learn these things. I spent money. I spent money in knowledge. I invested in information. I do research like every now and then. I check for the latest source of these things. Because in Africa, we trade on gold. A Chinese made me to know this. I did 35 acres of cassava. And at the end, what they bought was not up to 50% of my investment in planting. It was so painful that I had to start doing research on processing of cassava. That's how I started processing most of the products you see yourself today. So if you want to be a farmer with success growth, you should be ready to learn. That's the importance of brace. Don't take it for a joke. You should be ready to learn. Invest in yourself. Knowledge is power. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amaka. Let me quickly go to the next person so that we don't waste too much time. And Ikacto Desmond, please unmute and ask. Desmond, I'm asking you to unmute. I hope it's not to Amaka this time around. Let Dr. Davis answer your questions too. All right, please go ahead.
Good evening, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
This is Desmond. My question goes to Amaka. Sorry.
Your background is not very clear. Please, if you are using, as though you are using an earpiece or something, so it's really rowdy. I don't know if you can remove that. Let us hear you. Hi, Desmond. Are you still there? Your background is very noisy. Maybe you can just drop your question in the comment section so that we can ask other people, because we have so many other people that are waiting to ask questions. So, Nkaiso, if you are here now.
I did, but there's no response.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, that's more right.
Yes, yes. Since it's not clear, I said go ahead.
Okay, my question goes to Amaka. She made mention of using wheat to increase the resilient power of crops in your farm. I want to know how you will go about that and how you will extract the content from the wheat, you know.
Okay.
And
okay. That is just the process of our production of our organic fertilizer that we use. So it's not something you just do. I just explained the whole process of what we do. I explained it in one sentence. Because we make use of this weed and herbs in our production of organic fertilizer. So I just explained what we do. We take what makes them resilient and we use it into our crops. It's just a system we use. It's not it's like it's not something I can start explaining here because it's not a one-day training. It's not a one-day. Yeah.
It's all right. That will be all.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And next person is Nkaiso. Like I said, please quickly unmute and ask your question. And if we do not have other questions for Dr. want to leave now. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us on this session, and we really appreciate you. If there are other questions, we really would do want to send you an email. And thank you so much for obliging us and the great participant. Thank you so much. So, can you, Amaka, you have to help us wait behind for a little while so that you can answer some of the questions. Nkaiso, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, we've been
Can you
waiting to
guys
hear
hear
you,
me?
Nkaiso. Yes, we can hear you.
No, I'm experiencing network problems here. Hello, everyone. Kanyisa from SA.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't mean to pull you guys back, but the problem is that I've been trying to play around with the platform, like the Brace platform. I don't know which modules are you guys talking about, because if I check on the online courses, it seems like you just choose any course that's suitable to you.
Okay, so
Is there
so that we
maybe
don't waste
modules
too much time on this, okay? So we're actually coming to the portal use just after this session. So please, we're going to quickly talk about how to navigate your way through all of the courses and how you go about them. So please just hold on for that so that people can quickly ask their questions as Amaka is waiting for us, so that we don't keep her waiting on the call. So we are going to quickly talk about how to navigate the portal. Yeah. So who is the next person? Okay. Okay. So what did you say?
Session.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank
No.
you. Muyendo Leonard,
Sure, no problem.
please
Thank you.
unmute and ask your question. Is Leonard there? Oh, did he drop off? Oh, okay. Mogelang, if you are there, please ask your question. I'm asking you to unmute and ask your questions very fast, please. And please, we'll not be able to take all of the answers that I raised. So some of the questions should just go to the comment section. Thank you. All right, so we're listening now.
My question.
Okay.
Yeah. My question is quite just a short one. I was just asking, does greenhouse farming, is it really sustainable, especially now that we're going into winter? Because we all know that greenhouse farming, especially into winter, uses a lot of energy consumption. So what is the other solution that I might use in my farm going forward, in terms of making sure that I'll outplay or outproduce the best production possible? Thank you.
All right, Amaka, are you still there? Hello, Amaka. Hello. Oh, okay, I think she's having issues with her network, and your question, you might have to wait for a while for her to come back so that she can answer your question. But as we are waiting, let's quickly go to talk about the portal use, because I see that most of us have that question where we are saying that we don't know how to navigate the portal, how to get the modules, and how to quickly know what module we are even talking about. In fact, somebody was asking that what module is module 1, or what module are we? So this is the reason why we sent the link to the portal to everyone, and then we sent the password as well, and we said you can log in and change your password if you want to change your password. So I'll quickly share my screen and let you see what the portal looks like quickly. Okay, I think Amaka is back. Okay, let's quickly just have her. Amaka, are you here? Someone asked a question that
yes, I was here, but I was unmuted, so I couldn't talk.
Oh, so you heard the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay, please go ahead, ma'am.
So For the greenhouse, when you are building your greenhouse, you are advised to build depending on the climate you have. In Nigeria, I tell people we don't do greenhouse because greenhouse is basically to control the weather, the temperature of a particular place. In Nigeria, what we build are net houses. Our weather condition is not that extreme, except in the northern part of Nigeria. So if you are experiencing frost or experiencing other weather condition, you will know the greenhouse material to use to build your greenhouse that will be able to protect your crops. So yes, there are materials available for that greenhouse. Okay, so you just need to know when you are buying your greenhouse material, tell your supplier that it is for the protection of so and so, and they will let you know the best materials to buy.
All right, thank you so much, Maka. Beatrice, quickly unmute and ask your question. Beatrice, please go ahead. Please, if we have answered your question, just lower your hands so that we'll see the remaining people.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah,
my
good
question
evening,
is directed to Amaka. My question is this: along the line, she made mention of using maize, intercropping maize with cassava. So I don't know, at what period of time are you to intercrop the maize and cassava that it would actually increase the nitrogen level of the soil? Thank you.
Okay, so Amaka, if you're there, someone just asked the question. Amaka, are you there? Oh, mute. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Okay. So when you are planting your maize and cassava, normally the distance between the two shouldn't be more than 3 weeks. Once the cassava is planted, you intercrop with your maize. The distance shouldn't be more than 3 weeks after planting the cassava. So by the time you harvest your maize, the remaining crops from the maize will do their job. It's nature. It will work naturally to do their job. Is that okay?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that swift answer. I really appreciate that. Samuel, please. Desmond, we have answered your question. Please just lower your hand so that we'll see the other people. Samuel, please unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you for this amazing session. It was really impactful and interesting. We learned a lot, and I have a question regarding organic source of fertilizer. They mentioned the moringa and other kinds of organic things we can use to bring in nitrogen and wood ash as source of potassium. I want to know what is the source of phosphorus which farmer can use organically. And another question, they said about reducing greenhouse gas emissions and making organic fertilizers, like where we can employ black soldier flies to make compost and also bring in larvae as a source of protein. I want to know more if there's an advice that can be given to like pig farmers, how do they can reduce their contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. And I want to ask if animal waste from piggery can be also used when feed on black soldier flies. Is there a possibility of using larvae to feed on those animals? Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll take some of the question while my colleague would take the the remaining one about the greenhouse emission. So if I get you well, you were asking other sources of organic products you could use, right?
Yeah, like source of phosphorus.
Source of phosphorus.
Yeah, if available.
Yes, I mentioned it. Moringa is one, bitter cola, bitter leaf, scent leaf, zobo leaf, that's hibiscus flowers. They're all sorts of phosphorus.
Okay.
Then for your greenhouse emission, you could make use of your solar lights. It's even cost effective. All the security lights we use in the farms are all solar. So during the day, we access the solar lights, and in the night we use them for our lights. And yes, you can use black soldier larva for the feeding of your livestock. For our duck, for our chicken, we use it as snacks for them, and it boosts their weight. When we want to move to market for sales, it's part of our strategy. Our larva and even the weevil, the palm weevils that we produce, we use them also to boost their weight. They're all insect farming. So we practice integrated farming. In that case, you don't have any loss in the farm. The waste from here is used in this place. So with that, you will boost your productivity. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Dan Abu, quickly ask your question. Dan Abu, I'm asking you to unmute. We have, after Dan Abu, we have Brendan, and that's all. So thank you, Dan Abu, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted contributing and also to really emphasize what Amaka is saying, that is a medium for us to learn and unlearn. Because it seems as if we are interrogating her, but most of us, I'm sorry to say that we are saying this, we are just reading some things online and we have not really been on the farm. Because we are really doing organic farming, you need to learn over the period of time. And from even what you are doing on the farm, you see that, yes, the result that you are getting is something that, if not somebody that have been on that farm for a long period of time or have seen from the genesis from where you started, they will not be able to understand. Okay, why am I saying this? We talk of regenerative agriculture. So I want to testify that sometimes 5 years ago, I came to the village to farm cassava and made a heap. And since then, I've not cultivated the land and I'll be doing zero tillage. I planted cowpea during the period of 2 years. But now what I'm saying now is that if you have gone to my, if you are on my farm now, if you go to my farm now, you see how very the land is regenerating. It's becoming more darker. It absorbs more moisture than usual. And when I was doing that, the village people are saying, okay, this person came from the town and he's just doing their own kind of farming. People that use roller to plant. You understand? So let's just calm down and really listen to what is happening, and we'll learn. Just a contribution. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anabu. That's actually noteworthy. Thank you so much. So the last question was accommodating with that of Brenda. So Brenda, please unmute and ask a question, and that will be all. Brendan, are you there?
Brendan said only men are allowed to ask questions. We should allow women.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking her to unmute and ask.
Hi, good day, everyone. I had to make the observation because I mean,
no, men are raising their hands now. All the people that have raised their hands actually ask them to talk.
Well, I think it's also based on visibility, because I raised my hand earlier, but I brought it down because someone asked the question, so I had to bring my hand down. So
thank you so much.
Thank you very much for what you're doing. Thank you, Amaka. It's really insightful. I'm glad to have been here. Please, I'd like to connect with you.
It's okay. Okay, Brace will give you my email. You can send all the questions to the email.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Like I said, someone asked. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Brendan. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you so much, Amaka, for being with us to answer all of our plenty questions, and we really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we'll quickly go to the next segment of this, which is where are these ants coming from? All of a sudden, please.
I'm dropping the company email. They could write all your emails to it, and I'll respond to you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, so it's already in the comments section. Please, guys, you could make use of the email and send whatever it is that you need to send, and you will get your response. Thank you so much, Amaka. We really appreciate this, and we do not take it for granted at all. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate you. Thank you. Risk participants will just quickly run through the portal so that you will get to understand how to use the portal, how to navigate through the portal, because I see so many people asking where they will get the module from or how they will get the module. So what you need to do is to use the email address that you registered with to log into the portal. The link that we sent to you is the link to the portal. So that link, you click on that link. Let me quickly share my screen so that you see what I am talking about. Let me share my screen. Oh. Sorry, I'm sharing the wrong thing. So, okay. So this is the Brace portal. I want to be sure that you can see my screen. So when you click the link that I sent to you, this is what you will see. This is what will pop up on your screen, whether you're using a PC or you're using your mobile phone. So this is what will come to your screen. So you will just, where this email is, you write your email address there. That is the email address that you registered with. If you use another email that is not recognized by the application portal, you would not be able to get into it. So please, the email address that you registered with is what you should write here. Then I already sent the password to everybody, and there's a general password, and I said once you log into the portal, you can change your password. So I'll just use my password now and log in. So I just logged into the portal and you can see my dashboard. So when you enter your email address and the password and click, this is what you get. This is your dashboard. And then this your dashboard, you'll be able to see that you have the total modules that you have on your portal is 6. And then the total courses is 34. And then you can also track your progress. That is your assessment history. That is what you are seeing at the other end of this screen, the assessment history. So when you click that place, you'll be able to see all of the assessment that you have done. And then the ones that you have not done also, you'll see them there. So this place that is the modules. So when you click on these modules, all the modules in the for the course will just show up. So this is the first module, climate change and your agribusiness. You see, this is the one we just talked about today. So the next one will be adaptation and mitigation strategies in production. So next week, our live interactive session will be on adaptation and mitigation strategies in production. So after that one, we have the third one, which is the adaptation and mitigation strategies in processing and packaging. We have the fourth one, which is there. I'm sure you're seeing my screen, so I just don't want to be reading them again. So the fifth one is there, climate opportunities, and then the sixth one, which is the last one, is the climate policy and shaping the ecosystem. So all of these modules here, we're going to be treating them during the live interactive session every week. So we'll be having industry experts come talk to us about these topics. In fact, you'll be seeing some of the people that have trained in the portal. For example, Dr. Davis is one of the trainers on the portal. If you have done module 1, you would have seen his face before while you were watching the video. And then there is the module 2, which will have the people come next week and all that. So that's actually how it works. When you click on this climate change, I just clicked on my module 1 now. You see all the courses available for module 1. So you see that the first one is introduction. This is introducing climate change and agribusiness, introducing the module itself to you. And then the second one is impact of climate change on food systems. The third one is the critical needs. So all of these videos, once you click them, they will just the videos will pop up, and then you'll be able to listen and watch the video. Then we have the course 3, course 4, course 5. So after the course 5, then there's a summary where you're able to see all of the key takeaways from this module. Then there's a module assignment. This module assignment is just to help you understand and learn a practical assignment that help you to understand the module better. And then this assessment is actually very important, because this is where we get to score you on the course in itself. So having said that, for the French speakers, when you click on the introduction, you just see there's show French version. So when you click on the French version, everything will change to French, and then you continue learning in French. So that's actually how it works. When you finish, you can just go down and click next course, and just keep clicking next course, and then you'll be able to go finish that this thing. But if you want to change your password, is under this settings. So just come and click settings, and then you see upload of picture, then you see password. So once you come to this place, this password, you can enter the existing password, and then no, not the existing password, the new password you want to change into. So enter your new password, confirm it, and then update. Once you do that, you will log out, and then it will log you out, and you will now log in with the new password. It's actually very, very simple. It's as simple as that. So this self-help is actually videos that we have done for you to be able to learn the portal, to learn how to navigate the portal. For example, are you finding anything difficult? Just come to this self-help and look at the videos, and then click them to be able to navigate your way through the portal. So that is it for the portal. Please, for those of us that have not started at all, or that are wondering where we are having the modules that we're talking about, this is it actually. So we have sent this link to everyone. If you do not have the link yet, please let us know. You can send us an email or talk to us via talk to any of the admins in the WhatsApp group, and we'll reach out to you to give you the link, and to also help you navigate your way through the portal. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, there's something I've said that you really do not understand, please, you can drop it on the chat box, or just raise your hand. Please, 1 or 2 questions. I don't want so many questions. So 1 or 2 questions, and then there's so many people raising their hands. Are these new people or from the, okay. So Brendan is raising a hand again. Please go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Brendan.
Brendan is a man or not a female. The last time, I don't know how you unmuted me, because
I
another person was
mistook it. Oh, so sorry. Okay, so you are raising your hand. Go ahead and ask the question.
All right. My simple question is, I came across this organic liquid fertilizers called the Super Grow. So I really want to know how does it have effect on our plant, because they say you don't apply it on the root, it's on the leaves.
Okay, so this question, you will have to send it to Amaka. She provided an email address in the comment section. Please send this question to her via email, and then you'll get response to it. Our facilitators have actually left. So now we're talking about the portal, and then how to navigate the portal, and then how to use how to navigate the modules inside the portal. So quickly, Blessing Collins, unmute and quickly ask your question.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Blessing, are you there? I'm asking you to unmute. Okay, Joseph Katiko, if you are there, unmute, please. I'm asking you to unmute Joseph Katiko.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think I joined the meeting late. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question about how to access the information in the portal.
Okay, so what's your question, please?
Yes, my question is accessing the information, how I can access information in the portal, and also with the climate change being something that is facing people, that is like the youth in the community, that's the ones doing agribusiness. How can farmer innovations be one of the mitigation measures that youth can use while doing agribusiness, that is farming? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Like you said, you came late, and but this session, the recording will be made available, and it will be uploaded to the portal, so you can really go through it again to get some of the questions that you're asking. And then for access to the portal, please, I already explained that you can send us an email or let us know on the WhatsApp group that you're having an issue accessing the portal, and then we'll definitely attend to you. Thank you so much. So Morgan, I'm asking you to unmute and ask your question.
Yes. On the portal, there's a section where when you click on the modules, and then once you finished viewing the videos, then there's a portal. There's two options whereby you can download the material that you've watched as a PDF form. But the problem that I have, that I've seen also on the chat groups that most people also have, is that once you click on that download link, it doesn't download at all. It just goes and goes, and then it doesn't download. I've tried using my laptop, my tablet, even I've tried using numerous devices, but it does not download.
Okay, all right. So the videos are actually not downloadable for participants. So the only thing you can download from the portal are the additional reading materials, and those additional reading materials, there are some of them that are links. So all you can just do is to bookmark or save those links, and the ones that are PDF, you can go ahead and download those ones. But the video itself, the trainers' videos itself, they are not accessible for download. So that's why you're not able to download that. It's not your network.
No,
that's actually how it is.
No, ma'am. I'm not saying the video itself. Underneath the PDF format for the books, underneath
the
where you
PDF
can download the PDF.
Okay, it's the
Yeah,
PDF you're not able
it doesn't allow for us to download.
Please, let's maybe you should send an email later, or just chat. Okay, just chat us up, any of the admins up on the WhatsApp, and then we can go through it together to see why you're not able to download the PDF, because that is supposed to be downloadable. It's just the videos you can download. So yes. I sincerely apologize that you're not able to download the PDF. That's not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be that way. So please just chat us up privately, the admins, and then we'll take that up and ensure that you're able to download the PDF materials. Thank you. So Tamara, I'm asking you to unmute and ask your questions. Tamara.
Hello. Okay. Hi. I had two questions, but you just answered the first one, which was downloading was not possible at all for the PDF.
Sorry.
And I think that's what all of us had an issue with. And the second one, I've asked this question so many times, even at the beginning, and I equally asked it to each of the hosts. I said, how long is this interactive session every Friday supposed to be? Because it helps us to be able to plan our day and make sure that we lock up the amount of time to be able to attend to this without any distractions. Because at first I thought it was 1 hour. So is it a 2-hour session?
Yes, it's a 2-hour session.
Nobody answered that. I've been asking from the very beginning. And that's why if you notice, people have been leaving because people thought maybe it's 1 hour. And if something else happened and they have another meeting, they will leave, which is unfair because it's a very wonderful session. I've asked this so many times. I even went to your private chat. I didn't want to put up the hand because for me it's not so important, but it's good that we have this so that everyone can book this down and lock up the 2 hours and we know it's 2 hours.
Okay, so sincere apologies. We actually did not see, I did not see that because there are so many people raising their hands, so many chats and all that. So I must have missed that, but it's a 2-hour session and that would be corrected on everybody's calendar, will be added to everybody's calendar going forward so that we understand that it's a 2 hours program, and then we don't have issues with arranging for it and all that. So sincere apologies, I didn't see that earlier. Quickly, who is the next person? Joseph. I don't know. I think Joseph Katipa has asked. Ayanda Shogwe. Please unmute and ask your question. Ayanda Shogwe is not there. Yeni Samwari, please go ahead and ask.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. First, let me correct the name. Hello.
Please, you have to mute first. Let's this person just finish. I called you earlier on, but you were not surprised.
Okay, so I was the person you mentioned.
talking.
The Brenda is actually Yeni Samwari, not Brenda. So I'm the person that made the observation on the group chat.
Yes, please just continue.
Okay, so my question 2 has been answered, so I'll just go to the last one. The first facilitator, his presentation on the module, I noticed that the assignment that he gave, there's a link that we're supposed to access. That link is typed and it's more like what's it called on the slide. So I suggest that maybe subsequently, if there's a way that link can be like an attachment that participants can quickly click, and then we'll be able to access those materials. This is minus the PDF that my colleagues have talked about. So if that can be made available so that we'll be able to access those materials, get the knowledge, do the assignments and everything that is required. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So you, like you said, going forward. So going forward, we'll look at that. Thank you so much. Who is, okay, Ayanda, you were already talking. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm basically an approaching. I'm doing a HRE. So I just want to get a few details on something. Are we going to be actually specifying our questions on more like and alternatively, what will be the impact of climate change, not just genuinely to the climate only, but as well to our businesses? How is it affecting your production and you as a business person or you as a farmer in general?
I actually didn't get you. Please, can you repeat what question? Is it a question about the portal? Sorry, I mixed out.
Okay, all I'm saying is I'm under poultry, so I'm connecting a HRE around my area, Nesfatini.
Okay.
So yeah, so all I want to get is it's genuinely a question what says what will be the impact of climate change, not generally to the climate only, but impacts it also to our businesses.
Okay,
like
so
okay,
so at this point, what we're doing is it's like you joined late, right? So what we are doing is questions and answers for the portal alone. So this probably you have to send an email to this, so that's one of the experts will answer your question, but they are no longer on the call. So please, so sorry about this. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it.
I think we're done with all of the questions. So thank you so much. We quickly want to let you know about our community membership community for African Food Changemakers, which is actually a very important and integral part of what we do at African Food Changemakers. So to quickly get that done, I will invite our membership officer at African Food Changemakers to help us take this session, which will be carried out right away. So Nosa, please, you're welcome to this call. The next voice you'll be hearing is the membership officer at African Food Changemakers.
Thank you, Patience, and good afternoon, good evening to everyone on the call. And what a wonderful presentation from our facilitators, Dr. Debisi and Amaka. My name is Nosa Obando, and I will be taking us to the membership drive. And before I start, I would like to know those of us on this call, how many of us are members, or are we just brace participants? We don't know anything about the membership community. If you are a member of our community, I would like to see your hands in the chat. Just say, I am a member of African Food Changemakers, or I am a change maker. Yeah, so I can see Ngozi and Beatrice. Thank you so much. For those who are yet to become a member, or you are yet to become a change maker, I urge you to sign up on the AFC Hub. But before that, I would like to talk about the membership community, the benefits of our membership community, and what you stand to gain, as well as the community is a place where you can network and also engage with other entrepreneurs. So first of all, we have a growing community of over 3,000 entrepreneurs, and we have a presence in over 40 African countries. That's to say we intend to scale that number up to attain a total of 56 African countries within a short while. And our community membership is open to entrepreneurs who are doing incredibly well in the African agri-food space. And some of the benefits you get on becoming a member is that you have access to strengthen your agribusiness, you strengthen and scale your agribusiness. We also prepare your agribusiness to enter new markets through our programs and initiatives. Also, we are focused on entrepreneurs referrals. So we refer entrepreneurs to funding opportunities, to speaking opportunities, and to exhibition opportunities as well, to create that visibility for entrepreneurs. We also have a community of entrepreneurs from across the African continent. So we have a community where entrepreneurs can leverage networking and also support from other entrepreneurs as well. And through our programs and initiatives, we're able to open the global market for entrepreneurs. So we do programs that are focused on exporting, focused on trade linkages, focused on climate change, and some other initiatives based on the feedback from our entrepreneurs and our membership community. In addition to what we do, we also have the opportunity to enhance our entrepreneurs' visibility and our agribusinesses, and we also promote media engagement through selecting our agribusinesses. In our membership community, we have what we call the Instagram Live Showcase, which is a way of promoting and creating our entrepreneurs' visibility for them. So every month, we have at least 2 sessions on Instagram where we have a talk session with our entrepreneurs to know how the entrepreneurs are faring, how the agribusiness space is treating our entrepreneurs, and the opportunities and challenges they've observed so far being an entrepreneur. We also have access to exclusive networking events and access to a resource hub. So as a member of our community, you have access to our database where you can leverage capacity building data, training opportunities, events, which is open for you to network and also attend in-person or virtual events. Also, we have the funding page where you can also see some funding opportunities which you can leverage on as well. So having said this, I would like to also further buttress on how you can become a member of our community. Next slide, please. Thank you for those who are still putting on their hands and saying they're a change maker. It's great to have you on our community as well. So to become a member, to become a bona fide member of our community, you just have to go through 4 steps. The first is to visit the hub, and which is www.afchub.org. Alternatively, you could navigate through the link we will drop on the chat, the link to the direct page of the membership community. I believe my colleague has dropped that on the chat box. So once you click on the AFC Hub, you see a designated page where the landing page rather, where you see some of our entrepreneurs' picture and a icon that says you should visit the community or join the membership community. So you navigate on the join the membership community and you taken to a page where some questions will be asked about your profile. And basically the intention of asking this question is to know if you fit the requirements we are looking out for. So we just have 3 requirements. The first is to know if you own or work as an agribusiness owner. Second is the agribusiness you own or you work for must be in existence for at least 6 months prior to when you sign up to become a member. Lastly is that you should have a social media presence. It is not a mandatory option, but it is necessary because we notice that most of the opportunities are streamlined to those that have a social media presence because we get to network with them easily. And the social media aspect is to create that visibility for entrepreneurs. Having filled or answered those required questions, the next is you see a submit icon where your registration is in progress. So what happens is when you click on that submit, we get notified that a new sign up just came, and we'll, from our own hand, we review all the information you filled and the necessary requirements we need from you. Having done that, you'll be expected to receive a verification email within 24 to 48 hours. And once that is done, you'll be able to access your designated membership dashboard. And the dashboard is a way of also connecting more and receiving more of our opportunities and benefits. So as a member, you are entitled to the members marketplace, where you can upload your products and also input your product description for further visibility for your hand. Can you please move the slide forward? Okay. So probably the marketplace is not on this slide, but generally when on the marketplace, you are able to create that visibility for your products. For those of us that have a shop place or a way where you could in exchange transaction for your products, those in the processing line, those in the production line, if you have a product you want to sell or you want to create that visibility for, the AFC members marketplace is where you can do that. So all you have to do is to upload the product details and the product picture or sample with the associated description, the price, the location, how someone can get to contact you when you want to get the products, and after reviewing from our hand, it becomes live on members marketplace. So that is a way of creating visibility for entrepreneurs as well. Aside from that, in-house within our membership community, we have what we call the knowledge session, which is the first Thursday. And first Thursday is similar to what you are experiencing here, is a way of creating the knowledge or bridging the knowledge gap between entrepreneurs in the agri-food space and experts in the agri-food space as well. So we have experts coming, train our entrepreneurs or provide the knowledge and information they need to help them scale their businesses as well. And another opportunity is that we leverage event exhibition, we exhibit our entrepreneurs' products. We also do some members meet and greet, where we tend to have physical workshop or physical meet and greet in-country presence as well. So if we are in some countries where we have an event, we try as much as possible to organize an physical meet and greet with our members, where we can further discuss on challenges and opportunities that entrepreneurs are facing in the agri-food space. So with these few points of mine, I will urge everyone who is here to become a community to click on the link sent in the chat and make sure that they take the bold step of becoming the latest member of our community and leverage networking with other entrepreneurs as well. Thank you so much, and over to you, Patience.
All right, thank you so much, Nusa. Thank you very, very much for that explanation of the membership community at African Food Chainmaker. So we're actually coming towards the end of this live interactive session. So I just want to relate with you what the next steps are. So for us, next step will be that we complete our courses, especially for those of us that have still not started or that are in module, that are still doing the pre-diagnostic questions. Please complete your module 1 so that we can move to the next module and all that. So from next week, we'll be having to showcase our top scholars, and top scholars are people that have completed particular